Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I have a package to open. I feel like I open so many packages these days. Is that just me? Do I open a lot of packages? Anyways, this is a package from a friend, my buddy Joe, aka the Knife Whisperer. He's super funny dude. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, he's relatively new on YouTube. Check him out. I'll link to him down below. But we did a little swap-a-roo. He reached out to me, said this was a knife he thought that I would like and should check out. It's a knife that he personally owns, and I was like, absolutely, I think I would probably like that. It's a knife that I actually held really briefly at a knife show, at California Custom Knife Show. I think it was last year. I held one of these at the table for a minute, but there's so many knives there. And so I sent him my Zero Tolerance 0620. I'm wearing a custom Taro Tough scale. I just cut that really well. I mean, like, this isn't dense material, but it was good. Anyway, I sent him my ZT 0620, and that was a knife that I had that he wanted to check out. So if you want to see his take on that knife, you can see that on his channel. I don't know why I'm always feeling like I'm like about to burp while I'm talking. I feel like I always drink something right before I start filming. I should probably stop doing that. Anyway, this is not a Civivi. If you've read the title of this video, you'll know that this is a Matt Diskin IDF. And okay, so the Civivi box, I guess, was just to protect the leather pouch in transit, because the leather pouch says Diskin. This is actually a really nice leather pouch. I like it quite a bit. It feels, I don't know, I haven't seen this style of pouch ever for a folding knife that I've purchased, so this is cool. I believe these are manufactured by Riat, I'm almost certain. And Joe was telling me they only made like, I think he said 400 of them, which I had no idea they were that limited. So anyways, this is a little smaller than I remember it being, but it is a really cool integral titanium frame lock with this kind of ornate milling, and the shape is a little bit different. You can see it is indeed an integral, which, if you're not familiar with the term, means that it is milled from one single piece of titanium, the handle that is. It does have a stainless steel insert on the lock interface. It's got a really cool, this like pivot collar thing as well. Looks like it doubles as the over travel stop. It's kind of a different looking design. I like the clip aesthetically. Joe warned me it's a little bit of a pointy clip. He's seen me complain about pointy clips in some other videos. I will say it is a little pointier than I would like. He was correct about that. We'll see how it is in hand though. I remember flicking one of these at the table and thinking it had a really cool action. Let's see if I remember correctly. Indeed it does. This blade shape as well, I really like it. I'm not positive what you would call this blade shape. Is that like a trailing point, maybe? Just a drop point? I don't know. It's got this really interesting swedge up front that gives it a really cool kind of like definition. And then, yeah, it's just a relatively simple shape, but there's enough happening on it that it's not too simple. And it's got a nice fuller. I dig the shape of the blade. I don't think I can use the fuller to deploy it. Come on, it would make me happy if I could. No, I can't. Maybe we'll see if I play with it enough. I'll find a way. I don't think it's going to work. But it has a nice aesthetic fuller. Plus, if you're piercing the... Oh. Well, sorry about that. The power just went out, which I don't recall ever happening in our neighborhood in a long time. Anyways, it's a heat wave, Southern California, so apparently too many people are drawing on the circuit, or however that works. Anyways, it's back. So, this, where was I? We were talking about the fuller, I think. The fuller of this knife I can't use for deployment, but it looks cool. And I think I was about to say it will probably work as a blood groove if you are tactically using this knife. You don't want to stab this knife into another human's body and then not be able to pull it out. So having a blood groove there makes it slide right back out. No, I think fullers look great. I don't typically find much use from them, but I appreciate when they're there because I like what they do aesthetically, and if they're accessible that I can use them to finger flick, I like that. Overall, this knife feels pretty light to me. I'm not going to do like a full first impressions here, just kind of a first inspection. But yeah, this, I don't know, I remember, I think the one that I held at California Custom Knife Show had a carbon fiber inlay in the scale, if I'm not crazy. I feel like I've seen a couple of different variations of this knife. I like this one in all titanium though. I dig the way it looks. There's a lot of little details happening here that just look really nice to me. The milling on the handle is done very, very well. It's designed in a way that's like, it seems very deliberate and kind of artistic, but it's not like too out there. It doesn't look like tribal or, I don't know, it tends to be a slippery slope where when some people do like milled handles, not to pick on anybody, but like Ferrum Forge. Some people probably love Ferrum Forge's like feather patterned milling that they do on some of their knives. I can't stand it. I think it looks trashy. They do a lot of things that I don't think looks trashy. I'm not trying to throw Ferrum Forge under the bus. I actually like a lot of their knives, but what I'm trying to express is that sometimes like the milled designs that get put on titanium handle scales can get away from my preferences. I think this one looks tasteful though. I think it's a cool way of accentuating the fact that it's an integral. It kind of shows off the like sculpting of the single piece of titanium. I like that the way they did the lanyard tube, which I'll never use, is out of the way. It's just milled well. It's in a spot that kind of looks a little bit cool that it's there. Yeah, there's something about an integral knife too. I don't know if I'm alone here, but I just feel like when I handle an integral knife, there's like an extra notch of quality, like the sense of niceness that I get out of a knife, just knowing that it's from the one single solid piece of titanium that's been milled out. It just seems like an extra bit of intensity for engineering to be able to accomplish that, and it's like a simpler construction in a way, but it's not easier to do. And so I don't know, I just find that I really dig integrals. I find them cool, and I don't think at this point that they're like overdone. I don't think it's not like an oversaturation of integrals on the market that I've seen. I've only ever owned a handful, and each one has felt pretty special to me. And so I like that this one is an integral. It feels really well made. I'm almost positive it's a Reate built knife, which makes sense for how nice this feels. It's not a particularly like super drop shutty action, which many Reates are, but it's very smooth, and it kind of reminds me of the Sharp by Design Evo Typhoon, which was also made by Reate, in the sense that it kind of favors deployment. That knife was not drop shutty at all, but it had one of the best, most crisp actions with the flipper, and this one feels a lot like that, like really, really similar to that. Just a very positive engagement with that flipper tab. I like it quite a bit. Yeah, I'll save most of my thoughts for first impressions. I'm going to be carrying this knife a bit. I will be cutting with it a bit. Joe is very honest that he is more of a collector than a user with his knives, and so this knife has not seen very much use, and I am not going to do anything that would risk damaging it. I'll do some light use tasks with it, but while this is in my pocket, I will make sure that the other knife I'm carrying each day is something that I'm happy to use hard in case something comes up that I need to do hard use. But if I need to cut through a little bit of cardboard, open up some light packaging, I do want to see how this knife performs. So my full review at the end of spending about a week with this will be based on some use, but it's Joe's knife and I'm going to be gentle with it. I'm not gonna do anything crazy here, so you won't see a batoning video of this one. Can you imagine? I took this super nice, ridiculously pretty frame lock loaner and just took it out. That would be cruel. So that's not going to happen. You probably think I'm sick for even saying that. Anyway, I'm really excited to feel this one out. I will say, too, right off the bat, in hand, the pointiness of that pocket clip, I don't really feel it in my palm. So it's placed in a spot that's not super bothersome. We'll see how it does in pocket for retention and how this knife carries and all that, but it's not an immediate, like, hard fail because of the pocket clip. It's functioning just fine for me in hand so far. I've had it out of the package for, what, 10 minutes, but yeah, I'm glad that it didn't immediately ruin the knife, because every now and then there's a pocket clip that kind of does. Anyway, this will be cool. So thanks to Joe, the Knife Whisperer. If you haven't seen, he did a Sharp Talk podcast with me and the guys over there. I don't know if that is live. I feel like they haven't been posting. I'll find out. If that episode is live and I can link to it, then I'll do that. If not, then I hope you find it yourself. Sorry. I don't know whether it'll be there or not. But we did one with him. It was recorded, so it should, if it's not up already, be up soon. And Joe's just a really cool, genuinely nice dude. And he has a very interesting take on reviewing knives on YouTube, and I like that he's different about it. He has this series called Knife Confessions that I just find funny and interesting, and he makes good points, and he's a really honest dude, and he's transparent about the way he looks at knives and what he appreciates in them, and I value that. So check him out if you haven't already. He'll be linked down below. And I just realized I also never responded to his open tag video that I meant to do of my least practical knife that I own but love. And I should do that at some point. Let me know in the comments if you think I should do that video. Or if you're even still watching this unboxing. This one's gotten away from me, hasn't it? Anyways, this is the Matt Diskin IDF. I don't know what IDF stands for. I'll try to find out. It is in M390. Should have probably looked at that before right now. It is a integral titanium frame lock, and it's a gorgeous little knife. I really quite like it. It's a good size. We're going to see how it goes with this one. So, buckle in and wait. Buckle in and wait for this review. I don't know. This is a weird one. I'm sorry, guys. I will talk to you very soon, and yeah, I'll be looking forward to it.